We don't know our own technology. Me and Josh Novi. We're doing podcasts, but we don't know if we're live. Is this getting recorded or is it going jive? What to do? Are we on YouTube right now? We don't even know, no way, no how. We're gonna do it and see if it's live right now.
Yeah, I don't think it is. We're not live, we're coming from the earth. You don't know what it's like to have this much birth. I go around telling people watch out. I'm gonna put you in my fat roll and run on out. We're not live, we're not live, we're not live.
Now your time, oh, we are hoarding, but we're not live, we're only recording. I hope this podcast go to new heights, but we aren't live, it's just saved in megabytes. We ain't live. No, we ain't live. We ain't live. No, we ain't live.
Yeah. We ain't live, we aren't dead. We're just a couple of middle-aged with the fat man in a bald head, yeah. I lost my place and my brain went numb.
We're at the bridge, trying to sing, and we ain't gonna get a ding-a-ling. I don't know what that has to do with anything. We're a little off on our rhymes today, but when you have a midlife crisis, what else is to say? We ain't live. No, we ain't live. No, we ain't live.
We ain't live.
And 'cause we are midlife, we're only halfway to go until we also aren't live.
That's our We Ain't Live song, guys, everybody.
Our way of life.
Welcome to the Let's Have a Midlife Crisis podcast.
Yeah, I'm Paul Green. Who are you?
I'm Josh Novi.
Have we met?
It's the first time I've ever seen you. just a stranger in my house. That's what you are.
We went to lunch an hour ago.
I know, we did.
Am I so forgettable? That's what you feel like when you're having a midlife crisis, is that just, the second you're not staring at somebody, they forget about you.
Yeah, it kind of happened at lunch. I wouldn't say it happened at lunch, but you know the moment when you're at a restaurant and something doesn't quite turn out exactly, and you go, I think we're at the point where we go, it's not worth it.
It's just not.
In about another 5 or 6 years, we will make a fuss.
Oh, yeah. So what had happened was, so Josh and I, we go and get some sushi, all right? I order a specialty roll. Josh orders 2 specialty rolls, all right? And we're going to leave all of the jokes about you ordering twice as much food as me alone.
Yeah. Well,
we don't
in my
even need
defense,
to go there.
I ate it was a normal amount of food.
So I ate a less than normal amount.
Yeah.
So then what had happened was they brought my roll and one of Josh's rolls on the same plate, and then Josh's second roll on a separate plate. So they put it there, and they're going, yeah, this is your roll, and this is your roll, and then this is mine. I'm going, and we kind of went, you put them on the same plate?
Yeah.
And we just had this moment of, what are we going to do here? Are we going to say, take it back?
Yeah.
Take this roll off, put it on. It's my own plate because, we're friends and all, but I don't think we're at sharing a plate stage.
And to be fair, it is in some Asian countries, it is very much like it's family style. Everything's on one thing.
Everything's
kind
of community.
Any sort of community things. But I feel like two guys who were sitting next to each other, but across, like catty corner. Yeah. Like we weren't.
I didn't even sit directly across him.
He was not. He would not look me corner. In the eye.
I could only look at him askew, kind of like this.
He was so embarrassed by my being there.
I mean, I
crazy.
still wanted to be there because it was Josh's turn to pay for lunch.
Yeah,
So I had to put as little effort to be there, but not be there.
Yeah.
It's like 75% of the American workforce.
Yeah.
It's like I'm punching in, but I'm not engaged.
I'm punching in, but I'm punched out.
Yeah, exactly.
So there was that, and then also the role that the girl, she was like, you gotta get this role. This is the one we're known for. You gotta get it. And I hated it. I was like, you are not known for this role. This is not the one you're known for.
No, it was called the. I don't even want to give it his name.
We're not gonna say it because
that would sponsor it, kind of.
Well, or negatively. I don't want to give them negative or positive. That was our experience. It wasn't negative or positive.
Right.
It was a very neutral. What is it? Have you ever played D&D?
No.
Anyway, so there's that. I don't really play it, but they have like the ideas of like there's like chaotic bad, chaotic good, neutral. So it was like it was neutral good, you know.
Neutral good.
It was a neutral good.
It was a neutral good.
It was yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't anytime I get sushi, this is the place I'm coming to.
Never.
That was a place that I got sushi at once.
Yeah.
And next time I'll find another place.
And actually next time we will go to the other place. Yeah,
your place.
Yeah.
You want to know what sushi restaurants I like are the ones that have the conveyor belts?
I love those.
That just go right by your table, and you're just sitting there and you're going, lovely little train of sushi. There is one of those. I've been one close to here.
There's a few of them around here because I'm vet, and I know this. There's a few of them around here. There's actually one where a robot serves you, which is the best. Like that?
You just saying that, I'm already scared.
No. I love it because one, no tip, you know.
Well, but same with the conveyor belt. You don't have to tip the conveyor belt.
Yeah, but when somebody comes in, they have because you have that stack of shame. You know that
the stack of shame.
The stack of shame, and then someone comes and they count it in front of you, and then they go, I just judged you.
I see 4 purple plates. Those are the dessert plates.
Looks like someone's off their diet. So. Yeah.
So I guess but it's all robotic. You don't see a human being ever.
No. You see a human being at the front, and they sit you down, and then you order, and then a robot comes with your food.
Tell me about this robot. I can't picture it.
It's just like a little. I don't know. It's got like trays on it, and then it shows up, and it's got like a little.
So it's not like an android.
No. It doesn't. It's not like C3PO. Yeah. It's not.
It's just like a thing on wheels that has a tray, and somebody just puts it on and it says table 15, and it just knows how to go.
Exactly. Whoa, is there a robot in here?
Here is your sushi, Josh. How do you know my name?
Robot sushi.
Robot sushi.
Okay.
I don't think we've done a hip hop yet.
Yo, let me tell you a little about the robot sushi. It's going to get you there. It's going to get gooshy when you take the things and you take the others. It's not like fish. It's not like your mother. She likes to take the thing the robots eat. I lost the thing. There we go. There it is. That's why we need a hip hop. We need a hip hop person.
We need somebody on the ones and the twos and the wigga wagga. See, this doesn't do beats.
It does.
It does?
You have to learn it. It's a whole thing.
I'm not going to do that live because we're not live. But
yeah, we're not live.
I'm not going to figure out how to program. I see tempo, I see beat, and I see volume. I see touch response, reverb, chorus, transpose, tone.
Yeah. There's like you got to press a button and then press the thing to do the things to different.
Oh, I see beat right here.
Yeah, that's right. Press function. Press function.
Do I have to hold it down?
So?
It's like Morse code.
I don't know. That's how much I play this piano. Oh, here we go.
Well, I turn on the metronome.
That's all you need. Robot sushi. Robots eat sushi. That's all I have. That's why
I don't think this is going to happen for us.
I don't think you know what, we'll get there. We'll get there.
We promise that there will come a time on this podcast.
There will come
when I'm feeling a hip hop song, I will have a whole hip hop.
I love it.
Way to just so like, ooh, maybe what if I? Can you do a beatboxing? I had a hunch. I was looking for some Asian lunch, looking for some sushi that's hot, yo. It got delivered by a robot, That sushi I didn't hate, and at least I didn't have to count up all my purple plates. Oh, it was tasting pretty great, but now it's getting late, It served me. I hope that robot don't run out of battery, because I need a little sushi and I need it on my heels, and I don't want that robot getting a flat wheel. And I said, hey robot, and it said, now look at my tray, and I picked up my sushi and it tasted alright. And you know I got that feeling right, because when I'm eating my California roll, you know that's how I roll, I get a little proud mix, and now it's getting late, yo, it's almost 6. I got my robot sushi. I got my robot sushi. Yeah, I got robot sushi. I got my robot sushi.
Everybody, come on to the robot sushi dance. It's so good, it's gonna get out your pants, and then you get, and all of a sudden you're all metal. Don't worry, cause here comes my dog. Summit, come on over and come out. She likes to wag her tail, she likes to show it out. She's the coolest dog in the whole world, except for Nutter Butter, he is the coolest.
Yeah, I got my robot sushi, so many things I gotta do, you know I don't like my robot sushi on a person, I like it on a robot because I wanted to know that it doesn't have feeling. I don't wanna tip it cause I am reeling. I wanna save my little money, honey, so I got my robot honey, yeah. It's gonna bring me my food, because it's all it knows how to do, It's following a software, and it's bringing me my sushi without a care. Robot sushi, robot sushi,
Robot sushi,
robot sushi,
robot sushi,
robot sushi.
I think that we learned that two middle-aged white guys don't rap well.
I thought I crushed that rap personally. I felt a little left hanging that you didn't pick back up the beatbox.
I'm sorry,
and you just left me there with that percussion, and there was a dog. And then you literally drank.
Yeah.
During the beatbox,
well, because when you beatbox, you you're just getting all over the,
It was the whole.
It's the whole
thing. You had to sharpen your saw.
I gotta, yeah.
You took time to sharpen the saw.
I gotta sharpen.
I took time to take a drink of water.
You gotta
so that the beatboxing would be better.
Yeah.
What's that whole proverb or parable or whatever?
Yeah. Iron sharpens iron.
Wait, what is that? The parable?
Yeah, it's. I think I'm pretty sure it's Proverbs. As iron sharpens iron, so do men sharpen men. I don't know about that. That sounded weird.
Oh, the parable I'm thinking of is, and I'm totally gonna mess it up, but two people are chopping wood, and they have a goal to chop so much wood, right? So they're chopping away with their axes or whatever, and their axes, and then one guy, he just stops chopping wood, and they're going, "Well, that guy's an idiot. I'm gonna just keep chopping wood, and then the other guy who left, he comes back a little bit later. And then he starts welling away, and then he ends up beating the guy who just chopped wood the whole time. And he goes, well, how did you out-chop me? You went and took a break. He goes, no, I didn't take a break. I went and sharpened my axe.
Ooh.
So it's the whole, sometimes if you just keep hacking away at something, but you're not taking time to analyze your tools, and it's the most effective way. Which, by the way,
this feels like you're calling me out on something. I feel very.
No, I'm about to call myself out.
Yeah.
Because this is pulling on thread. I just realized how apt that analogy is. Because for the last year, I've just been doing stand-up, and I sort of had my routine. And I recently realized this routine's kind of dull.
Yeah.
And so I actually stepped away from just doing the same thing over and over and over again and started totally rewriting. So I like resharpening a new axe to come back and chop wood even more effectively.
I love it. That's what I got to do. I mean, I think I don't even, have we broached the topic where I feel like I have gotten a lot worse at stand up since I've moved here.
Oh, okay.
It's a lot of the thing because it is a muscle.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you have those opportunities to get to work every night and to do things like you really do get better very much quicker.
Sure.
And I feel like if I had that where I'm doing that 2 months, I feel like I'd get back to where I was. But I definitely feel like I am not anywhere near the level I was even 3 years ago.
So what changed 3 years ago? What changed when you moved?
Repetition.
Well, but why the change? Why did you stop, or why did you get out of those habits?
One, and then some of it's my fault because I don't want to go to an open mic and sit for 3 hours listening to little young 20-year-olds talk about pornography for 3 hours and then go up and get my 5 minutes, but that part is my fault. But then the other part is that there are no good opportunities around here to get to, for people like us that we're on the professional level. There's no place for us around here to go on a regular basis and work out material. Yeah, there just isn't. Yeah, and the other side of that is that to do that you got to be going on the road. But then like right now we're kind of like saying I hate to say that the recession's a part of it, but the recession might be a part of it. Sure. Or it could be that I suck now. I don't know. I know that my stand-up gigs have started to slow down a little bit. I'm still getting some, but they're starting to slow down. So I don't know. It's like what is it? Is it whose fault is it? I mean, it's at the end of the day, it's my fault because I am responsible for my own.
Nobody's coming to save us. We are responsible for our outcomes.
That's what happens when you're middle-aged. Yeah. You just are. You just have to deal with it. No one's going to come.
Nobody cares. Nobody's playing a violin. Oh, you don't have to do stand-up? Oh,
no.
Here's a
Oh, no. No, baby.
Maybe I'll give you a stand-up gig so that you can feel better about yourself.
Here's $5.
No, I hear that. I've had some real harsh smack in the face reality lessons of just going, if it's not happening, it really is that if it is to be, it's up to me, which sounds so trite, but I'm going, no, that is really true.
This is gonna come full circle. Don't worry, okay? It will come full circle.
Oh my gosh, that means that we're about to go out of the circle.
We're going to go out of the circle, people.
It's going to seem like it's tangential.
It's going to seem like
but then we're going to realize that in the infinite metaverse, that these two seemingly unrelated data points on the timeline seem like we're going this way, and then he's out of here.
If you're listening, you can't see us. Point A, point B,
point B. And it seems like, well, that's on a linear plane going this way, and that's a linear going that way. But actually, what we're going to find out, and I don't even know what point B is yet.
Exactly. We don't even know.
We're still just setting
I don't even
it up.
know. I'm going to make it up as I go.
Pan out, and we're going to realize it was a globe.
It's not even a globe. It's the flat Earth. It's a
flat Earth disc.
It's a disc with a little hump in it.
Called the Himalayan.
A little hump and a hump.
All right. So go off and circle it back.
Literally just today. I always say, a lot of times I say literally, and I mean figuratively. But today
you mean millennial. Literally.
I am a.
By the way, that's a Gary Goldman bit. I gotta. Still jokes.
Okay, so I was reading a report today about inflation and the recession and what we
sounds like a fun read.
Well, that's what happens when you become you can when you become middle aged, you can get into World War history, which I'm already into big time. Love it. Yeah. Or you can get into financials, or you can get into riding a motorcycle. And I was like, I got 2 out of 3, so I better get this other guy going here. Number 2. Anyway, so I was reading. And the average family right now in our area, a family of what I have, 4 to 5 people, we are spending an average of $1,000 to $1,100 more a month for the same basic amenities that we had a year ago.
Wow.
So and you go, wait, what? Yeah. Yes, that is true. And that includes everything.
So in essence, you're making $12,000 a year less.
Yeah. So you go, okay, that's like groceries, gasoline, right? My car insurance has gone up a crazy amount. Like, I don't even want to tell you how much we pay for car insurance, and it's not because we're bad drivers.
Right.
It's crazy how much we pay. But then I was like, because we're sitting there going, okay, we're making the money. I feel like we're making the money, but where's the money?
Mm-hmm. But where the money
Where
at?
the money?
Where the money is?
Where the money is? And so that's and I get sad. I don't know if you're listening to this, watching this, do you ever get sad when you look at your bank account, like on the you get like because like everything comes out on the first essentially, and so like on the second I look at my bank account and I go, oh,
this is not good.
I don't like this at all. I don't like this, and so anyways. The point being is that we have that same idea of like, okay, well, comedy is not, people are not buying comedy right now. So, well, they're buying comedy, but they're not like they were even 2 years ago, where you're getting tons of corporate events, tons of churches, tons of, I don't know, youth groups, comedy club. Like there's so many opportunities that were happening that are just not coming around right now. And I go, is it because of me or is it because of the recession? Mm-hmm. It's probably because of both of them. But, but then I go, okay, is it time to hang up the old top hat and that's what you do. You have to. You have.
Wait, you mean is it time to quit doing comedy?
You have to every month around the second.
Yeah.
I go. Is it time? Is this it?
What would you do?
I have no skills.
You have no backup plan, right?
I have no backup plan. I have no skills. I have no other dreams. Just sadness, a lot of sadness in here.
A lot of sadness.
Which I get out on stage. But right now, I'm not on stage, then I'm just sad in front of my wife.
Sure.
So, which she doesn't like at all. I don't know if you know of that about women. They don't like sad.
I don't know
boys.
anything about women.
They don't like sad boys. Anyways, so I have this idea, and I go, okay, well, I'm 40. I'm almost 42. I turned 42 at the end of, same birthday. Same birthday, remember?
Yes.
Yeah, same birthday. So I said, okay, do I call it quits, whatever? And I go, I don't know, probably not, because it doesn't. I realistically, I still make a pretty good living at comedy. I probably make more doing comedy than I would doing anything else.
Sure,
honestly,
sure.
And I go, is it? But you go, is it time? I don't want to overstay my welcome. I don't want to,
Well, we talked about this on our last one that if we quit today, nobody would care.
Nobody.
I think I would maybe get one phone call, and then be really, yeah. And then they might try a little bit. Like, really?
Yeah, you're really good at it. And then you go, oh, sorry.
But like, yeah, it's not working out. They're like, yeah, it is pretty tough. Okay, well, just wanted to check in. Hope you're well. See you later. Because nobody's coming to save us.
Because nobody's coming. Yeah. Nobody's coming. We're not Dunkirk, man. The people, they're not hopping in their boats.
No.
That was World War II. It's that history buff.
Yeah, right, there you go.
History. Well, listen, people are not hopping in their boats to come across the English Channel to come save us. They don't care. No. And that's okay. However, this is where I bring it full circle to the midlife crisis. And I think to myself, I go, if I quit now, what is just around the corner for me? And I thought of like, what are some other examples of people, celebrities who hit right about our age? One of the most famous ones, Samuel L. Jackson, right? Samuel L. Jackson most famously got his first major role in Pulp Fiction at 45.
Oh, wow.
Before that, up until Pulp Fiction, when he was 1945.
Yeah,
I don't know. When he was 45 years old, he got Pulp Fiction. Up until then, he was a social worker, and he was making essentially minimum wage.
No way.
Yeah.
Didn't what's his Mad Men?
John Hamm.
I think he had a similar.
He might have.
Nobody knew who he was. Nobody cared. Quit acting, I'm done, and then kind of gets this audition.
Billy Gardell talks about he's a little bit younger than we are, but he talks about he was 2 weeks away from moving away from LA when he got Mike and Molly. he said he was like stand-up's not working. He's like, I'll move back to, what was my Billy? I move back to Ohio or whatever it is. His kids had that weird thing. I'm Ohio. So he's like, yeah. Do I just go back? And he's like, about 2 weeks in, his agent sent him on a random audition for something that he had no chance of getting.
Right.
And he goes, and it's just like he was just like, oh, whatever. So he shows up to the thing. He's looking around at all the other fat guys. He's going, oh, whatever, it's fine. And then he ends up getting Mike and Molly. It changed his career. However, that doesn't take away that voice in the back of your stupid head that does think, because Billy Gardell also famously has a story about doing comedy at 1 o'clock in the morning at a place in LA, looking across the street at a billboard of his face.
Oh, yeah?
And being like, why am I doing this?
And the answer is because nobody cares.
Yeah.
Even at that level.
That's what I'm saying. Nobody. Yeah. Anyway, so other examples.
Here's a fun little LA story.
Okay, love it.
That's just along that same. And speaking of sushi.
Ooh.
So about 6 months ago, I was in LA to see my favorite performance group ever called the Improvised Shakespeare Company. And I was there with my mom.
I love improvised.
Oh my gosh. So incredible, right? So they're performing at the Largo in Los Angeles, and I'm there with my mom. I want to take my mom to see this troupe. And so we are eating at a sushi restaurant just right up the street. And you want to know who walks in and sits at the table right next to us?
William Shakespeare. Oh
no, he's dead.
Was it Blaine?
I'll give you 5 more guesses.
Greg Proops.
No.
Colin Mockery. Because I'm going off the improv.
It's not an improv person. Oh, just a famous an actress who's famous who we haven't seen in a while.
Kathy Bates.
No.
I'm trying to think who's Shelley Long.
Nah.
Okay. Okay. I got 3. I
got 3 more.
I got 3 more. Actress we haven't seen in a while. Olivia Colman.
It's funny. I don't know who these actresses are, so I don't even know if I had to tell you if you're in the right lane or not.
Okay. I'm trying to think. Cara Burnett.
No,
but I'm closer. I'm a
little closer. Not
Lucille Ball. Her ghost.
Not that old.
Ghost
not
of
that
Lucille
old.
Ball.
Not that old.
Okay.
I'll give you a hint. I guess it could get better. I guess it's not as good as it gets.
Helen Hunt.
Helen Hunt.
Yeah.
Helen Hunt came in, and she was actually going to the Improvised Shakespeare Company show, and she just came in with maybe her boyfriend or somebody, and then a couple more people showed up. It felt like maybe like a stepdaughter situation. Okay. And she's just sitting there right next to me, about this far away from me, and I'm just sitting there with my mom, and I'm like, Mom, do you know who that is? That's Helen Hunt. That's Mad About You. That's as good as it gets. Nobody went up to her.
Nope.
Nobody asked for autographs.
Nope.
Nobody cared. And this is one of the biggest A-list actresses for about a good 15 years. Yeah. 15, 20 years. Helen Hunt was it.
In her defense, I would imagine, just like you, other people go, guys, that's Helen Hunt. That's Helen Hunt. And then, but in LA, you go, that's about as cool.
Yeah.
That's about as like
but I will say this. I will say this: if it was somebody relevant right now, I think that people would be mobbing her.
I think so. Yeah.
And I think that's the difference.
That is.
You can be famous,
but not relevant.
And at that point, people go. I know people go. Oh, that's the thing. But then whatever, and then they don't go up. But if it was, I don't know who's famous. If it was Zendaya or something like that, then.
So one time I was doing a show with the impression will give it away. Also the yelling of what happened. So I was over at the Comedy Magic Club about to do a show with a buddy of mine, and so we're walking into the room, into the building, and a random stranger on the side goes, oh, "That's Jay Leno," and then he goes, "What? Where?" Like that. It was a little. I can't actually.
He's a pretty good guy. Well,
Yeah. Where is it? It is really funny. Same thing. Where like, but someone just stops and they scream, "That's Jay Leno!"
Yeah.
And you go, yeah.
So here's the names of some celebrities that I happen to be around to some degree or another while living in LA. It's not a huge list.
Yeah. Well, so if you're listening to this, watching this, well, in LA, you are most of the time somewhere somewhat connected to celebrities, no matter what.
Yeah.
Just because of vicinity, but then also in our career field, because our career field, comedy especially is such a small town that if you don't know somebody, you are very good friends with one of their very good friends.
Sure.
So it's very tight, not I want to say tight knit community.
Right.
It's a loose knit small community.
Well, I remember when I started to try to do the whole Comedy Store thing, just go hang out there, like the hundreds of comics who are just lackeys and just open or whatever. And I remember just seeing like, oh, that's Mark Maron just hanging out there. And once it's like, oh, there's Bill Burr just out there talking. Nobody is bothering him. He's just talking to his buddy Dean Del Rey, who, I think he tours with a lot, and he's going whatever.
Hanging out.
I did this show once, and I'm sitting in the back of this small room at this comedy club, and Andy Dick comes in and just sits next to me. And I'm going, oh, that's Andy Dick. And then I went up, and it was one of those, like, there's 78 comics, and we're all doing 3 minutes. So I went and did my 3 minutes, and I sat back down. I was like, hey, that was really funny. I used to talk about that. He was really gracious, although I know he was kind of a alcoholic. I was actually in an improv class with his daughter, Megan. Meg was really fun. Jason Alexander, I met on a street corner in front of an improv club because his son was performing. Then I actually became friends with his son.
Oh, that's so nice.
And after I became friends with his son, I made a goal to myself that I would never bring up his dad ever.
Yeah.
I'm like, if he wants to talk about his life.
So one of the great things about where we're at is I'm very, very, very good friends with some huge A-listers' children. And the older generation,
the children,
the children of those people who happen to be about our age.
Oh yeah.
And then so it's so nice to just be like, and then when you're hanging out with them, you don't bring it up, you don't talk about it.
I met Mindy Rickles. Mindy Rickles, Don Rickles' daughter.
Oh, that Don Rickles. Okay, I thought it was the other.
You thought it was the other Don Rickles? And then I met Claudia Cleese.
Okay, yeah.
John Cleese's daughter.
She does comedy too.
Yeah, she does.
She's very sweet. Very nice.
And so was Mindy. Mindy was doing comedy as well.
Yeah.
And these people are just all over Hollywood. It's the kids. And they're all unbelievably talented because they've been raised in entertainment. They've been in every single class, acting class, improv class, music class, singing class, dance class, martial arts.
Yeah, they're all
stage combat.
There's this great thing about like Albert Brooks when he was it's like 16 years old, and so he's friends with Rob Reiner, who's his dad, Carl Reiner, right? Yeah. So they have this whole thing about like he was like 16 years old, and they're all sitting there, and Carl Reiner goes to Mel Brooks, and he goes, this kid is the funniest person I've ever met." And that's to Mel Brooks. Yeah. To Mel Brooks, can you imagine me going, "Listen, I have met the most handsome bald guy I've ever seen," and then like to.
And you meant it.
And I meant it.
And you didn't mean it now.
No,
because it was hypothetical.
No, I say
it was hypothetical.
To you about someone else. Yeah. Anyways. And of course, Albert Brooks famously, his actual name is Albert Einstein. I don't know if you know that.
I didn't know that.
That's his real name. So I know it's the whole thing. Anyways, we digress.
Okay, but you needed to bring this full circle because this was all prompted by me saying, if it is to be, it's up to me.
If it is to be,
I don't see the circle yet. Right now, we're talking about how it doesn't matter how famous you are, nobody cares.
Because nobody cares.
Nobody cares. 2,
it's up to you, and like 3, nobody's coming to save you. And especially nowadays where there are, I looked at, again today, there are like 6 million podcasts on Spotify and 2.5 million on Apple.
Wow.
And you go, okay, so how do we differentiate our little neck of the woods? No one's come to save us.
It sounds kind of sad.
Yeah.
We're all alone in this world of ours, floating
through space. If we want salvation, if we want to survive, if we want to thrive, we gotta look in the mirror at our own face. If it is to be, it's up to me. If it is to be, it's up to me.
No one's coming. You're on your own. No one's picking up the other end of the phone. No one's coming. Just build a moat, because you're drowning and no one has a boat. If it's up to me, it's up to me. If it is to be, it's up to me.
So of my life I could give it a shirk. Nobody's coming, this isn't my personal Dunkirk.
That's a good callback, that no one cares. But imagine those young kids, oh, they were scared. If it is to be, it's up to me. If it is to be, it's up to me.
And now we're getting older, to the middle of our life. I am single, but Joshy has a wife.
She's really hot.
And I don't have a daughter or a son, but I'm hoping for an older big break like Samuel L. Jackson.
If it is to be, it's up to me. If it is to be, it's up to me. If it is to be, it is to be.
It's up to me.
It's up to me.
If it is to be, it's up
Hold on, wait.
to me.
You know who else it wasn't up to? No one else came to save him. Jesus. Anyways, that's gotta bring that full circle.
Dude,
Anyway.
we did so well not talking about
I know,
religion
I know,
for
that's why I
almost
did-
an entire
that's why I did-
podcast.
that's the whole reason I
you
did it.
evangelicals.
Oh, gotta get 'em in
it
there.
reminds me of me when I was Mormon. Anyway.
So I don't know. The idea that we're almost there. We are going to run it before. We're going to finish up this topic before we go to the next one, because we want to bring up something we want to talk about. So there are other people who have famously made start at our age and done really well. Rodney Dangerfield had been he had a career in car sales. I don't know if you know that. And then he was doing comedy at night, and then eventually he was able to retire from car sales, and that's how. Anyways, Phyllis Diller, she started doing comedy at 39. That's the first time she ever got on stage. I mean, there are countless. There's so many people out there who famously got their start. Now, King Charles, he didn't even become a king until
1640.
No, it's like last year. I was thinking last year.
Oh, that King Charles.
This King Charles.
You got to be more specific.
This King Charles. He didn't become king until he was like 79 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So
just imagine spending a whole lifetime.
oh, I just can't wait to be king. No one said do this. No one said be there. No one said stop that. No one said see it. Oh, I just can't wait to be king. Anyways,
That's gonna ruin the copyright right there.
I know, that's okay. We're all fine. We're all
I think
fine.
we sang it off key enough.
Just enough. Also, we missed a couple lyrics.
YouTube's gonna be. Was that?
Yeah.
Was that
just
I can't wait.
I can't,
No. That
was not good.
That was not good at all.
Not good. Yeah. So we were earlier. We were at lunch and we started to talk about. I made a joke about being on the astral plane.
Oh yeah.
And then you were like, "What's the astral plane?" And
You want to know what you want to know what astral plane actually means to me is in like the year 2000 I went to New Orleans for a jazz festival because I used to play in the jazz combos and big bands at Mesa Community College. So we go to Louisiana and there was this Louisiana jazz band called Astral Project.
Ooh,
The Astral Project.
Yeah.
And I remember listening to these guys were unbelievable. And so when you say astral plane, I
what you
think
thought
the
of.
Astral Project, but I didn't actually know what it meant. I've
Yeah.
heard it before, but I don't know what it means.
Yeah, so if you're not familiar with this, if the idea is that you have the ability to disconnect your soul from your body at any time you deem necessary,
Like right now?
through meditation. Yeah, so you would have. So the idea is that you have to meditate, and people either can or believe that they can disconnect their soul from their body, and they can go on experiences. And you can, people say that they leave their body and then they can go on, they can travel the world. However, some people, they also say, everyone that does this also says that there is another metaphysical plane of existence that they call the astral plane, because you do this called astral projection. You project your soul onto. Anyways, so that's what astral projection is. Astral plane is when you project your soul onto another plane of existence while you're still alive.
Okay.
And this is something, whether or not it's true, it is something that has been studied and used for thousands of years, especially through Eastern medicine.
I mean, I think that's very similar to even like Christianity. I mean, I don't think they would word it that way, but you know, I think a lot of Christians, and I mean, I know, at least know in my religious faith, you think that you can pray and that there's a Holy Spirit, and that this Holy Spirit is like an infinite God who knows past, present, and future, knows all these things. So even though maybe it's not your soul doing the traveling, you're going, well, I'm going to disconnect from my body and what I can see in this reality, and I'm going to pray, and then I'm going to have an experience where the Holy Spirit is going to connect with me and give me insight or give me information, elevate me from from my cares and woes.
Which is something they also found that nuns, the sisterhood of the sisterhood, they found in the mornings they tend to do, I think it's like 2 or 3 hours of prayer, but it ends up they've done the studies, it ends up that they are actually going into a meditative state. And it's the same thing where they same as like monks do that in the mornings. It's the whole thing. But the difference between Christianity and that is that Christianity says that my soul is part of this, and I have a lifeline to God.
The soul's staying put, though.
The soul. But the astral projection is saying I can meditate and I can physically
or metaphysically,
consciously leave my body and go on excursions, and I can go fly around the world, and
maybe the Christian tradition is my soul is staying put, but I'm just able to turn on the Wi-Fi for a minute, and then receive information from an entity that has done all the traveling for me.
Correct. However, astral projection is saying that I get to go do that.
That I'm the one doing that.
I get to. This is.
I'm in London.
I'm in London. I'm in France.
I'm not hearing a story.
I see Paul's underpants. Is what they say. It's the classic. It's the classic astral projection.
It's the classic astral projection.
Yeah. So that's essentially there is so much more into it. Of course, when I was younger, I got really into my dad was a pastor, so I left the church anyways. And I got really into other religion. I was trying to find things, and I was like experimenting with other religions. That sounded like I was doing a lot of drugs. That
is a religion.
Anyways, so but there are other things, like there's the idea of lucid dreaming, that you can control your own dreams if you know you're dreaming. So there's like you practice, and that is something that is real, that you can practice yourself into knowing and learning when your dreams are happening, and then you can go and you can change your dreams at will.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what sort of evidence is there? And I'm sure it's all anecdotal, but
yes.
I went on an astral plane. I received some information but then when I came back into my body, my life was somehow objectively different in this linear plane. In this,
there is zero proof, and
sounds about right.
I'm open. I'm open. Here's the thing. I'm open because I do believe in God. I believe in Jesus, but I also believe that God says that, listen, we like this, our human experience is so vast and so different that how are these things? Is it possible? Maybe. I don't know. If you believe in astral projection and astral planes, does that also make you anti-Christian? I don't know if it does. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm not a biblical scholar. I'm barely biblical. And so I had a point to it. What was my point? Do you remember?
I don't
remember.
Was this the circle back or no?
There was a circle back to this. I think we might have left that circle a long time ago.
Yeah.
But no, the evidence. I was doing all this stuff, and I was experimenting with all these things, and I go to a sound bath. You ever been to a sound bath?
Is that where there's no sound?
There is some sound.
I've done floating.
I want to do that. I want to do.
I did not like it.
Oh, I want to do that so
Hated
bad.
Floating.
I want to float because I do anyway. So
you want to know why I didn't like floating?
I just want a bathtub big enough for me. Is what I want.
Because I'm laying there, and there's no support.
Yeah.
And so I literally felt like I had to like keep my neck up, like I couldn't relax. And so then I didn't float. I actually kind of leaned up, like tried to sit down and like lean against the wall. I liked the isolation. I liked the quiet, but I didn't like trying to float in this very shallow thing of water.
Ooh, okay.
It was actually really, really uncomfortable.
Okay.
Like I wanted a bed.
It makes me think that maybe they didn't have enough water in there. Because the idea that you're supposed to like it's a very salinated water that you're supposed to float on top of, essentially.
Yeah.
And you don't seem like you're that heavy. So
no, it's just not enough support.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I couldn't relax, just the way that it could also be that my body is so used to whatever that my muscles just didn't know how to deal with this.
Honestly, I don't know if you know how to relax.
I probably don't.
I don't think you do. We're gonna that's a new journey. We're gonna go on a new journey. Paul's relaxation.
I know how to relax in the astral plane.
Back to my story. I went to a sound bath. Is you get together with a bunch of people and someone will play gongs, or they have like those
they do this like,
they do that for like an hour or whatever it is. And while you're doing it, you're like kind of meditating and you're like hanging out. You're like whatever. And then I was like, this is pretty cool. I like this. I don't mind this at all. And we get done and everyone's like, how's your experiences? Right? And everyone's like,
What did you feel?
What did you feel? And I was just like, I felt like relaxed. It was good. And this lady's like,
but deeper.
This is what made me. This is what left me. As I was like, I still felt so relaxed. And this lady goes, I left my body and I was talking to the dolphins, and the dolphins told me that we need to work harder to protect their oceans. And I said
it was either the dolphins or EPA. I mean, it was either.
it was just I just went the way, and she went on for a good 10 minutes about what the dolphins wanted to tell her. Yeah.
Translation.
Please save our oceans.
Then you say, you want to know what, dolphins? If it is to be, it's up to me, dolphins.
And it's like the dolphins were like, we have a message for you. It's like, this lady cray-cray.
Yeah, lady cray-cray.
That's cray-cray.
Hey, dolphins, if you want your ocean saved, you need to save it yourself.
Yeah.
Nobody is coming to save you.
No one's coming to save it.
No one's coming to save it.
If it is meant to be, it's up to me.
Yeah. If you want to win, flap your own fins. Come on. That was pretty good.
That was a good one.
I had to think about that. How can I translate this into a dolphin?
That sounds like a good song. If
Really?
you want to win, flap your fin. Doesn't it?
wrong in your life. Everything's going wrong with your wife. If you don't know, it's a kid. If you wanna win, baby, flap your fin.
If you wanna get where you wanna go far, you've gotta swim in your own water. And if you wanna win, you gotta flap your own dorsal fin. If you wanna win,
if you wanna win,
you gotta flap your own fin.
Flap your own fin.
You gotta flap your own fins.
Yeah, you're swimming around in trash. Well, what you gonna do with your mess? Are you gonna clean it up and swim? Or are you gonna flap your fin? Gotta flap your fin, gotta flap it good. Gonna flap your fin if you want some food. Come on, girls, flap your fin. Get those guys swimming in.
We're sorry that due to human sin, you're floating in a dirty ocean. You want us to come and clean it up? No. What's up? If you want to win, gotta flap your own fin. Go and take a little swim. you gotta flap your own fin. Flap your own fin. Flap your own fin. You gotta flap your own fin. Just flap your own fin.
You know, that's why I say the dolphins. I say, if you want to win, you got to flap.
Flap your own fin. Why did we make it flap?
Because
Is
flapper.
that the right word?
Because flapper.
Flapper.
Yeah,
that's good.
Everybody knows. Everybody, yeah. I don't know. So I guess we have a week or until next week, right?
Yeah.
My question is, because you're going on a journey, and I'm fine. I'm not going to try to to make you go back to the dark side with us, but are you interested in learning more about that stuff, or like astral projection and meditation and doing massive amounts of peyote in the desert? Like, are you?
I've done a lot of meditation stuff. I had an interest in trying, like, doing an ayahuasca retreat. I've thought about doing mushrooms. And you want to know what? You know where I'm at this point? I think I want to learn how to be very successful in this body, in this plane, in this state of consciousness, and quit trying to escape it all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And thinking that the answer, it's almost as if everybody thinks the answer is somewhere else. The answer is in a God. The answer is in a drug. The answer is in a relationship. The answer is in a success. The answer is in money. And what I am trying more and more to get to the point is that the answer is within me.
Yeah.
And I don't need a supplement unless I choose. And it's a choice. I really just think it's a choice. And when I realized when I got out of my religion and then I started going through a faith deconstruction, I just realized how susceptible I was to anybody else telling me they had the answer.
Ooh, yeah.
And it was, it was self-help, and it was meditation retreats, and it was floating, and it was, I started to study all of the psychedelic drugs and the mushrooms and the LSD and the MDMA.
I'm surprised that Scientology didn't get a hold of you.
Well,
they had good benefits.
They don't want to leave one cold for another. But so, and even on things like my comedy, it's like, hey, somebody else tell me how I'm supposed to be funny. Hey, somebody else tell me how I'm supposed to be successful. With marketing, let me buy this course. Oh, let me go to this expert. It's like everybody else has all the answers and Paul Green is clueless. And I'm sitting there going, maybe what I need to learn is to just go do everything, just not that I have to do this all by myself, because there are plenty of people who are helping me and supporting me, right? Like you reached out to me, you do so much to help this podcast, right? And Jim Perry books me in his club. So I'm not saying that I have to do it all on my own, but I am saying in terms of seeking it's almost like it's me not being willing to trust myself.
Yeah. I will say, this career is, I would I'm not gonna be like it's like the hardest career because there's Navy. You know, there are Green Berets out there right now.
Right.
You know, and you go, okay, I get it. But this career field is one of the most stressful career fields that you can be in because and a lot of
we should describe why it's stressful, right? Because again, we don't want to compare ourselves to Green Berets. Very stressful.
Yeah.
Here's how it's different, though: is there is a very clear path to Green Beret.
Yes.
There is a yellow brick road. There's a yellow brick road to lawyer. There's a yellow brick road to doctor. There's a yellow brick road to teacher. Whatever profession, almost every profession you want to do, it's, oh, you want to be successful at that?
Yeah.
Oh, if you want to be a Green Beret, well, here's what you need to do. You need to get in the military. You need to work out like a freaking crazy person. You need to wake up at 4 a.m. and go run 10 miles. And then you need to do 1,000 push-ups every day. You listen to like David Goggins, right? Like his story of what it took for him to get in the Navy SEALs. And then once you get to a certain point, you have to take this test. You're probably going to fail it the first time.
Yeah.
And then you got to, you got to train harder. And then you go back and take the test again.
You got to go selection course. You got to do these things.
Right.
And then, it does. I knew a guy.
So it's hard.
Yeah.
But you know what you have to do.
There is a set.
With comedy, with acting, it's like, here's the path. This is how you make it.
Yeah.
You do this.
That's okay. I was when I lived in Iowa before I started. You know, if you know my comedy story, I was going to college in Florida after the Army. That's where I started comedy. Then I moved back to Iowa to be with family for a little bit, and then I moved to LA. And then
When did you move to LA, by the way?
15 or 16, something like that.
Oh, we were in LA at the same
We
time.
were.
I don't ever remember crossing paths with you.
Never. Well, to be fair, when I lived in LA, I was on the road constantly.
Gotcha.
So, and that was one of the reasons that I left LA was I was like, I'm paying for a place.
$3,000 a month.
Yeah, exactly.
For a studio apartment that I'm in 2 days of the month.
Well, luckily, I had a room in an apartment. With two other fat guys.
With Michael Longfellow, you said.
He would
crash on the couch.
He would crash on the couch when he got too inebriated because he was a kid. Anyways, but it was me, JC Christ, and Chris Cope, and we called ourselves the fattest apartment in LA. Yeah. Because we're all the same size. We're all the same. Anyways, we even wrote like a couple pilots about our apartment. Anyways, it was fun. But again, so I started comedy in Florida, and I'm living in Iowa, and I moved back there, and I go to the local comedy club, which also happened to be the local improv comedy club, and I go, guys, well, where's like where are the B rooms, where are the C rooms, where are the local shows, where do you guys blah 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 blah, and everyone was just like, there's nothing. Yeah. They go you go, you're on your own, and this is one of my favorite things that ever happened to me. And he's a sweetheart, my friend Tommy. The first time I met him, I was like, I just moved from Florida. I've been doing comedy in Florida for like 2 or 3 years at the time. So I moved to Iowa, and I go up to him, I go, hey, where are like the B rooms, like the C rooms and stuff? And he goes, maybe you should concentrate on your comedy first. And it was one of those things where I was like, that's really funny because like I was already like starting to work part-time as a comic. Right. Anyway, it was one of those funny. But then and when I was in Iowa, I learned that there was nothing there. Very much like this. There's nothing, even though there's 6 million people in this area. Right. There's nothing happening. Nothing. I guarantee. I know it sounds crazy, but when I lived in Iowa, I said, okay, what do I need to do to get to the next level? And so I was like, well, I got to get more shows. How do I get more shows? I got to get booked. There's very few bookers. There's very, very little going on. So I said, there's no ladder to success. I'm going to have to build my own ladder. And then climb it. And then climb my ladder. And then build each rung as you get to the top yourself. Yeah. Yeah. And then I think one of the things that has helped me out in my career is that as you build the next rung, you help someone up to the next, the one that you just built. To go, I set this path. You can follow this path. But I can only get you to here. Exactly. Yeah, and then I can get, if I get to the next one, I can get you that one. But so I learned that. I learned that a long time ago. I said so. There's no ladder to success in this business, so you have
There's no yellow brick road.
There's no yellow. You have to build the road one brick at a time, on your hands and knees, on the way to Oz, which may or may not exist. Exactly. So that's my. I know, and it's sad and depressing because it is, but it's also like. nowadays everyone gets to have their own. They have their own TikToks. They got their own podcasts. I mean, this is 14 years ago that I was doing this stuff.
Yeah.
There was none of this. And if I had known that podcasts were going to blow up like this, I would have kept on it.
Right.
I made fun of so many people for having podcasts that I was like, you have a podcast? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, now they're like, doing okay.
Right. Do you have a why? Do you have your, like, why are you doing this then?
I have a couple of whys. My famous one that I talk about a lot is that I was doing this for myself. Right, because you get the adulation, you get the laughs, I feel good about myself until I get hired to do this a show for recovery people, and I learned so much of this, and that's a whole episode in and of itself. Just that one show is a whole nother episode. We don't have time for it, but I learned that comedy is not about me. And it's not about my stupid jokes. It's about the people in the room that I'm affecting at that specific time. And so then it changed everything in comedy for me. And then now I have a wife and kids. I go, now my comedy is for them because my comedy got to pay for them. And then, which I don't think is also the right answer. But
there is no right answer.
There's no right answer.
It's the answer.
It is the answer. You're like, why are you doing this? I gotta make a living. Life, but that's also the truth. Is when you have the ability, and in my head I go, can I take that gig? Because if I do, is it not enough? Because I get another opportunity that I have to not take.
Well, that's very simple. You say, hey. I have a good comedy friend too who's been very successful in a gig is a little low. He'll just say, cool, I won't commit to it, but I'll, if nothing else comes up, but have a backup plan. you know what I mean? Yeah. Because if it's like a $300, $400, $500, which, there's a lot of gigs that are $300, $400, $500, and he's going, that's great. But if a corporation calls me and is going to pay me $10,000 for that same weekend, I'm sorry, I can't do your gig.
Yeah. I do that before. I tell, that's similar to what I tell people, especially if it's like a weekend that I know is going to be there are certain in comedy there are certain weekends that will be bigger, right. And so I look at my calendar, I go, I know it's gonna be bigger, so I go, I'm a 90%.
Yeah.
However, if I get something, I have to take it.
Right. You checked your watch.
I didn't mean to check my... No. I was getting messages.
Oh.
Just constant messages about how many gigs I'm not fulfilling.
How many gigs I'm not
That's my manager going, I need money.
Well, but I think that's probably a good wrap up anyway, don't you?
Let's wrap it up. Well, can we...
What are you feeling?
I feel like we should wrap up the whole episode on a song. Like can we... are we able to? That's the question. Are we able to wrap up the whole thing on a song that talks about everything we talked about today?
Well, let's see. We did If It's to Be, It's Up to Me, and then we did the Dolphin remix.
Yeah, the Finn.
We did the robot sushi.
The robot sushi, and then we started off with what was the one we started off with?
Ooh, how about I'm walking by myself on the road of comedy, building that ladder one rung at a time because I know it's up to me. I'm trying to keep a little pep, gotta keep moving forward with every step.
Shouts, that's what I want to change when I'm famous, but no one cares about what I do or what I don't. All I know is I'm flapping my fin, or I'm flapping
having my want.
And now I'm walking along this broken road. I think that I'm running fast, but I'm moving so slow. Sometimes this journey makes me sick, but I have to admit there is no road of yellow brick, no yellow brick road. There's no yellow brick road. There's no yellow brick road. No yellow brick road. I see a scarecrow and it's scaring me. But I'll tell you I need a little courage, just that like that lion you see.
When I'm walking down that old yellow brick road, I do what no one says, I do what I'm told.
No yellow brick road. There's no yellow brick road. No yellow brick road. No yellow brick road.
Let me tell you something.
Tell me something, Josh.
If you want some success, you gotta do it for yourself. On your hands and your knees, there ain't nobody else. You wanna make that road to a run brick at a time. At least you're not a full-time mime. Yellow brick road.
No yellow brick road. Oh, there's no yellow brick road. No yellow brick road. And sometimes when I walk, I fall on my knees. I look up and hope there's a God and say, please, I got these bloody knees, I'm gonna wipe it off with gauze and keep walking down this road and hope that there's a Wizard of Oz. Yellow brick road. No yellow brick road. There's no yellow brick road. No yellow brick road. And though I'm still walking all alone, I hope someday I'll be able to say there's no place like home. But for now, there's no yellow brick road. No yellow brick road. No yellow brick road.
Hey,
High five.
thanks for having a midlife
Like our
crisis.
sushi place.
Oh no!
We did it.
We told him.
Thank you for having a midlife crisis here. I'm Paul Green.
I'm Josh Noby. Thanks, guys.